The power's been out for 72 hours. No light, no heat, nothing. Your Tesla is now just a 3-ton paperweight blocking the driveway. Some guy down the street's been sitting in his garage doorway with a big flashlight and a baseball bat, and I'm pretty sure he's not waiting for the ice cream truck. Your next-door neighbor has been counting ammo on his porch all morning and looks oddly prepared for this. The police station no longer picks up the phone. It just rings.
It's almost dark, and things are about to get even stranger. You've got about an hour before the neighborhood disappears into shadows. That's when people stop watching each other and start looking for unlocked doors. So grab some duct tape and any tools you can find in the garage, and let's get to work. We're going to turn your home into a fortress that burglars will skip without a second thought.
This is the part nobody plans for. Right now, your house is part of a neighborhood that looks calm, quiet, and lightly supervised, and you have about 30 minutes to change how it looks. Not to scare anyone, just to make it feel like a bad idea on a night where nobody wants extra complications.
Now let's start where most people get this wrong. Nobody kicks in a door first. That's the lie movies tell you. The same movies where characters whisper plans in echoing warehouses and nobody hears them. Real burglars start much earlier. They stand still in the dark, touching nothing, watching your house. The same way you stare at a vending machine that already ate someone else's money while deciding if you're about to make the same mistake.
Burglars aren't angry. They aren't desperate. They're patient. Patient enough to notice the porch light you keep meaning to fix, and patient enough to notice the same room light turning off every night at exactly 11:07. They notice the house before they notice you. From the street, details stack up fast. Lights switching off in the same rooms, windows going dark in the same order, the house shutting itself down the same way every night. That isn't chaos, that's a pattern, so you break it. You stop resetting the house the way you always have. One night, the porch light stays off while a hallway light stays on. Another night, the house is dark inside except for the kitchen. A chair is visible through the window, left where someone stood up and didn't bother fixing it. A trash can sits halfway out instead of lined up by the curb. One shoe by the door, not two. From the street, it doesn't look empty. It looks active in a way that doesn't make sense, and they choose another house. Next, we deal with sound. Silence is an invitation. It tells the world nobody's awake, nobody's listening, and nobody will notice a mistake until morning.
So you add noise, not alarms and not anything dramatic, just noise that feels lived in. Turn on the TV or radio and leave it running mid-conversation. Arguments work best. Call-in shows. Someone already mad about something that has nothing to do with tonight. If music is all you have, don't make it good. This is the moment the Nickelback CD you've carried since 2002 finally earns its keep, so put it on and let it play. Loop it if you can. Because here's the thing about Nickelback. It doesn't just suggest someone's home, it suggests someone who's given up. Someone who's made peace with poor decisions and has nothing left to lose. Someone capable of enduring suffering on purpose, possibly inflicting it. That's a psychological profile nobody wants to test at 2 a.m. Now, we deal with smells. Not comforting ones, just evidence that someone's awake. Burnt toast, old coffee left on too long. And if you have curry, cook it. That smell alone will repel anyone. A house that already smells bad doesn't feel empty. It feels occupied by someone who isn't concerned with your comfort. Smells drift. They leak out cracks, vent, and open spaces in ways sound doesn't, suggesting presence without explanation. Most people won't break into a place that already feels unpleasant to stand near, not because it's dangerous, but because it feels like a commitment. You're not trying to scare anyone. You're trying to make them imagine being inside, and that's when plans start falling apart. That's enough to work with. At this point, nobody's touched your house, and already a good percentage of burglars have quit.
That's the part most people miss here. Most break-ins fail before contact. Now we move on to windows. They look solid right up until they aren't, and when they fail loudly, sharply, and inward. You're not stopping glass from breaking, you're making it misbehave. Duct tape goes on the glass. Not pretty, not decorative, dense and ugly. When taped glass breaks, it doesn't explode. It clings, it drags, and it turns into a sticky, cutting mess that refuses to cooperate. Hands get sliced, sleeves tear, every movement makes noise, and noise is attention. Then you deny space by putting heavy furniture in front of the window from the inside. Dressers, shelving, anything dense and annoying to move. Now breaking glass doesn't mean entry. It means lifting, dragging, and scraping heavy objects while standing in a pile of loud regret.
Close the curtains, not because you're hiding, but because uncertainty weighs more than fear, and nobody likes surprises when their hands are already bleeding. Now, we deal with the door. Your front door isn't strong, it's confident, and confidence isn't the same thing. Most doors are held in place by screws that look like they came free with a toy, anchored into trim and decorative optimism, which is why doors fail fast. So, you fix this, quickly. Find the longest screws you own, the ones from a project you gave up on after 3 days, and replace the short hardware in the strike plate and hinges. Drive them deep past decoration and into the door framing. Now the door isn't just closed, it's attached to the house. When force hits it, the energy spreads into mass, and someone kicks it now and learns something about physics they weren't emotionally prepared for. You haven't made it unbreakable, you've made it exhausting. Add a barricade, a chair, a pole, anything rigid wedged from the knob to the floor at an angle. Push becomes downward force loads the floor, and the harder someone pushes, the worse it gets. Gravity joins the conversation. It isn't elegant, it isn't subtle. It works. Sliding doors get the same treatment, block the track, pin the frame, and make lifting require tools. Tools are loud, and loud ruins nights. Now here's where it gets personal. Smear something unpleasant on the outside handle. Oil, grease, that tube of lube under your bed, because now's not the time for dignity. The goal isn't just slippery, it's existential confusion. When someone grabs that handle in the dark and feels something wet, warm, and unidentifiable, their brain doesn't go to door grease, it goes somewhere worse, somewhere biological, somewhere that makes them reconsider every choice that led to this moment.
Add some sand or coffee grounds to the mix if you're feeling inspired. Now it's gritty, sticky, and smells vaguely like a crime scene. Nobody likes mystery substances in the dark, especially when they don't know whose it is or what it used to be. That 2-second hesitation while they're wiping their hand on their jeans and questioning their life is 2 seconds closer to dawn, 2 seconds closer to someone turning on a porch light, 2 seconds of them wondering if breaking into houses is really their calling, or if maybe they should have listened to their mom and finished community college. Now we deal with perception, because physical defenses only buy time, and what ends attempts is suggestion. Fake a dog. Put a big metal water bowl outside, scratched and heavy. Slap duct tape on the side and write Duke in thick black marker, uneven letters like someone wrote it while annoyed. Add a chewed toy, mangled and not cute, the kind that looks like it lost an argument. Hang a thick leash near an entrance, heavy, chain if possible. This doesn't say there's a dog, it says there might be a dog, and whoever owns it names things like they expect trouble. Dogs are noise, dogs are teeth, dogs are timing nobody controls. Even a small chance of that is enough for most people to reconsider their life choices. For the ones who don't, give them another reason. Add boots by the door, big ones, muddy, kicked off, not placed. They suggest someone who lifts heavy things and doesn't moisturize. It doesn't matter if you're an accountant who owns one hammer. What matters is the story. Now we deal with the fallback room, because nothing's perfect. Pick one room, and a bedroom works best. Reinforce the door the same way, long screws, barricade. Inside, stage essentials, phone, light, water, something to defend yourself if needed. You're not planning to fight, you're planning to wait. You're not trying to stop crime, you're stealing time. And when time runs out, people leave. Now there's a chance you do this too well. There's a chance your neighbor, the good one, who waters your plants when you're gone, decides to check on you, mainly because they haven't seen you in a day and your house smells like a gas station bathroom and sounds like a hostage negotiation. They'll knock and you won't hear them over the Nickelback loop. They'll try the door and their hand will meet something unspeakable.
They'll see the boots, the dog bowl, the window tape, and the chair blocking your front door from the outside view, and they'll do what any reasonable person does. They'll call the cops and report a crime scene. You'll have to explain all of this to a very tired officer while standing in your pajamas, smelling like curry, holding duct tape with How You Remind Me playing in the background for the 7th time. It'll be humiliating. But your house will still be standing, your stuff will still be yours, and that's the point here. When the night goes quiet and nothing happens, that's success.